Hey everybody, I'm back. I wanted to do a little segment on drywall anchors. As we started building all the closet systems in here, one of the things that constantly came a problem is how do we put this stuff into the drywall? I mean, you're not always going to hit a stud. Fortunately, I did get a lot of things in the studs, but I did have to use drywall anchors. So I did buy an assortment of them, and I want to kind of go through a couple of them real quick to show you which ones I really preferred, which ones kind of were eh. So starting out here, I do have this little kit that came in. These are just like nylon zip junior anchors. Now these came in, there was this kit, and then there was I did get some bigger ones here, but as you can see, essentially these are pretty simple. You hook them to the end of your drill that uses the Phillips head bit, or the ones that look like a plus. Everybody calls it a plus. And you put that right on there. You stick that right on right where you want to drill, and you just drill it right in. Now, I always drill it really slow, right up till the drywall hits the base of this thing, and so it's all into the wall. You don't want to overdo it. As soon as it hits it, you want to stop so it has maximum grip on there. Then you take it, and you take a screw, and you take that screw. Once it's in there, you start it in there. I kind of like start hand tightening it, hand screwing it in there, and then you just drill it in the rest of the way. These are great, nice and easy to install, but when you start looking at them, only supports up to 20 pounds. That isn't a whole lot. So if I hang in pictures, it doesn't really work well for a closet system. Even if you had two of them and you could say 40 pounds, it's not, because they're usually close together, so it's probably like 30 pounds you're gonna get out of it. So not the greatest. Next thing I looked at for ease of installation were these. They're called bore fast, and essentially it's just a screw. So you essentially just screw it in. So I get the colored heads. They come in like silver, white, or black. You can take those or just a Phillips head, or the plus as we call it. You can see how wide the threads are on that. They're pretty far spaced out. Again, drill in and drill it slowly in, so you don't want to tear up your drywall drilling it fast. So I just drill it slowly in, and you'll feel it pull in tight, and boom, that's it. Ease. These are the easiest things to install, and the best thing about them, if you look at the packaging here, especially when you get these type, 50 pounds in drywall, 200 pounds in concrete. So that's pretty good. So if you put them in the drywall, you're going to get about, I never guess on 50. I always try to do 40 to make sure I'm smooth. You can do multiple ones, probably get a little bit more out of it, maybe get up to 60, 70 pounds. You can't just sit there and say, hey, two of them are going to hold 50 and put them right next to each other, because that's not going to get you 100, because the drywall in between there is not as strong anymore. So you got to make sure you do a little reduction of it. So don't try to make that assumption. If you need something that gets you a little more weight, you got these kind. These are actually great for concrete and drywall, and essentially it's the same thing. These the difference with these is you have to pre-drill a hole. So you're going to pre-drill a hole, and it tells you what size drill bit. This would be a 5/16 drill bit. You're going to push that in there. You may have to tap it a little bit lightly with a hammer to get it in till it's flush up on the thing there. So you're only going to see that much of it. The rest will be in the drywall. And then the same thing, you take your screw. You can use like these as a black screw, but what came in the kit was silver. But you want to use the screw that came with the kit. I did have another kit. That's why I had that had a similar situation where it used the black screws, and I needed that for the darker motif, but these would use the silver screws that came with it. And essentially, you can see how meaty these are. These are much meatier screws, and you just drill that into the top through there, boom, and it'll tighten right up. And this one can hold up to 85 pounds just in 1/2-inch drywall. So if you need a little bit more meat on it, that's the way to go. If you're in concrete, yeah, 125. I'm not drilling in concrete, but that 85 is pretty good. But what if you're like, man, 85, I need to stack more on there? It's hard to go and find anything else at your big box stores that do anything more than this. You know, that's pretty much the max you're gonna get. And as you see, I've tried several different ones to try to get something. And this is when I found online these things, the Bullfix. These are the Mac Daddy of drywall screws that I've found so far. Because these things, when you saw them in, I did another video on it. I don't think a lot of people saw it, but you can hold up to 116 kilograms, whatever that is. But I think the original kit that I had bought for them had said it would hold up to 200 pounds or 250 pounds. It's insane. So essentially the way these install are a little bit different. So essentially they give you a spade bit. And do I have the spade bit in here? I probably don't, so hold on a second. I'll show you what a spade bit is for those who are unknowing what one is. And these do take the most time to install. I don't have my spade bit. It's usually hidden behind here. Here we go. So here we go. If you see one of these, it looks like it really does look like something you could kill somebody with. It looks like a weapon as opposed to a tool. But this is a spade bit. Doesn't that look menacing? So this spade bit goes on the end of your drill. You put this point on the spot the hole you want to drill, and then it just turns and it's going to create a hole as wide as that spade bit. It's going to chew that drywall up. But then you need it that wide because this goes into that hole. You'll push that into the hole. So you'll spade bit it first, push that bad boy in the hole, then you can take this fish looking thing, you know, and you shove the tail of the fish into this hole that's in the wall. And once it's there, you open it up, boom, and see that? It grabs behind that drywall. And now it's locking itself in. And then it creates this little hole right there. That little hole is where you take your screw and you hang whatever you're trying to hang. So you push this through whatever you're trying to hang up. This will be in the wall. You drill it right into there. And once you do, this system is going to be completely locked down solidly. And when I say locked down, that means this sucker is going to hold a ton of weight. I've used these in a couple closet systems because I knew we were going to put a lot of weight on it and it was going to hold a couple 100 pounds, and this thing is working flawlessly. So if you need something, you know, most of the stuff at the big box stores are going to be like this. They're going to get you 20 to 50 pounds. Generally, there are a few in there that are going to get you about 85, maybe up to 95 pounds. If you need something that holds about 200 pounds with drywall, Bullfixes are the way to go. These are the Mac Daddy, the kingpins of all of it. All right, with that, talk to you later.